Hi, scholars. So today we're going to talk about cause and effect in our read aloud, okay? So, cause is the reason why something happens, and effect is the result of what happens. So, let's pretend that it's your birthday, okay? And we bring out the cake, and it's your turn to make a wish. So, what do? You blow out the candles, right? So, when you blow out the candles, the cause of what's going to happen is that you are blowing air out of your lips to make sure that the flame goes out, right? And then the effect is that the candle goes out and you can make your wish. Your wish. So the cause is you blowing on the candle, and the effect is the candle going out. Okay. So we're going to talk about that a little bit as we read our story today called Daredevil the Cat. Daredevil the cat lived in a very fine forest. He loved dangerous adventures and lived rather recklessly, all because he'd heard cats had 9 lives. Daredevil even chose 8 more names in case he should need them: Stealth, Whisker Risker, Breakneck, Fearless Feline, Hazard Finder, Dauntless, Just in Time, Danger Cat. Daredevil should have checked his cat facts more closely. Uh-oh, scholars, what's going to happen? One day, the rain pelted down. While Daredevil liked adventure, he didn't like to get wet, so he opened his umbrella and set off. So, scholars, the cause was that it was raining, and the effect was that he opened his umbrella. Soon the rain stopped, and the sun came out, and the sky looked as blue as the ocean. What a beautiful sky! What fresh air! I should be flying up there, Daredevil said. Daredevil couldn't actually fly, but he could swing. He swooped back and forth and went higher and higher. And as the wind whistled past his ears, Daredevil heard a little chipmunk call, "Cat, it's too dangerous. You'll fall right off that swing." "Haven't you heard? Cats have 9 lives," Daredevil called as he let go and flew off. As Daredevil sailed into the air, he thought he heard the chipmunk calling after him, "It's not true that cats have 9 lives." Daredevil kept soaring on, thinking he must not have heard the chipmunk quite right. As Daredevil flew over the pine forest, a tall tree called out, "Cat, grab a branch. I'll help you down." But Daredevil bounced off its branches like a trampoline, which made him fly even higher and even faster. "No thanks. Cats have 9 lives," Daredevil cried. The pine tree shook his branches at this foolishness and yelled, "No, they don't." As Daredevil soared away, he wondered, what did that tree say? So, scholars, because Daredevil thinks that he has 9 lives, that's the cause. He is reckless and dangerous. That's the effect. A gorilla in the silver birch forest saw Daredevil fly over the trees and called out, "Cat, I'll catch you with my book." But Daredevil bounced off its pages, springing even higher in the sky and calling, "Don't bother. Cats have 9 lives." Daredevil thought he heard the gorilla call after him, "This book says that's a myth." The gorilla shook her head at the Daredevil's recklessness. So, because the gorilla had read the book about the cat, he knew, or she knew, there were not 9 lives. So let's see what happens next, scholars. Daredevil flew past the forest and the mountain peaks. He soared so far and so high, there weren't even any chipmunks, or trees, or gorillas. Suddenly, Daredevil felt very scared. He finally understood what the chipmunk and the tree and the gorilla had been trying to tell him. Now he realized he was about to be smashed into 1,000 pieces. Why had he been so reckless with this one life of his? Daredevil began to fall. As he dropped to the ground, he was trembling and crying and sobbing. How had he been so foolish? So again, scholars, because he thought he had 9 lives, he was foolish. That's the cause and then the effect. Up on the hill, a little sheep was enjoying the sun. One of Daredevil's tears dropped onto her nose. The sheep lifted her head and said, "Is it raining again? And is that little black cloud holding an umbrella?" Daredevil heard the sheep and remembered. His umbrella! He popped it open and began to float down. The little black cloud is holding an umbrella, said the sheep. So, scholars, because Daredevil's tears dropped on the nose of the sheep, that's the cause, he remembered he had an umbrella. That's the effect. But just then, the umbrella gave out. Daredevil stopped floating and started falling again. Help! Help! He called. Cats only have one life. Thwack! Daredevil landed on the tower of a castle and began to slide down its smooth side. Daredevil tumbled into the royal garden where the king, the queen, and the prince had watched him slide down the castle tower. The king demanded, "Tell me why I shouldn't punish you for sliding down my castle." Daredevil said, "I have been foolish and reckless, your majesty, but today I have learned a great lesson about how precious life is." The king realized that Daredevil could be a valuable teacher for his son, so he invited the cat to join them in the castle. "Thank you, your majesty," Daredevil said. So because he slid down the castle, he had to tell the king what he learned. Daredevil became the young prince's teacher and friend. Under Daredevil's guidance, the prince learned to value his own life and the lives of all people in the kingdom. He became a great king. Many years passed. As Daredevil grew older, he missed his fine forest. One day, he asked the king if he could return home. The king agreed. "You have taught me well, old friend," he said. "Even though I will miss you, I wish for you to live out your life happily." It said that an old black cat still lives in that forest, enjoying his one very long life. All right, scholars, so because the cause that Daredevil learned how important life was, he was able to help raise the prince into a good king. That's the effect, okay? All right, I hope you enjoyed this story, and I will talk to you soon.